Thank you, Professor Yan. Thank you very much to the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to talk about some aspects of tribology research in India. So I will be talking about the industrial and the academic, mostly focusing on the academic side because I am from the academics. I would like to just say the disclaimer that opinions here are all my opinions and it might vary from person to person, but this is how I look at it. So first, academic tribology research activities. So I will also look at the data of publications because sometimes we give a lot of emphasis on the number of publications, and as you can see, that of course publications from China is the maximum. And here is India. So we found that number of publications in tribology from India has picked up recently since 2010, 2011. And as you can see from the data, all the data are from Scopus, only Scopus. So, and you can see that the data is crossing. So that means at present, number of publications from India in tribology is second. But of course, here the hidden part is the number of people. Okay, so India is a big country, lot of people. So if you take per capita, it will be quite low. So it is only giving you the total number. Then I thought that, okay, maybe it's just the number, not the quality. So we have isolated only 6 of the old tribology journals, the journals which are at least 25 years old, and then analyze the data again. And here we can see that in 2019, the number of publications from India has exceeded here. So now we are in the second position. So this is just for reference. So of course, it is not just about the number, it is about what we do in tribology. So if we look at from the publications, we find that these are the major areas of research currently being carried out in India. The majority of work is in manufacturing, tribology, gears and bearings. So this is the major publications. And the second is from lubrication and lubricants. So again, I think it will similar what it happens in other countries. Third position is composites and alloys. I have looked at some of the papers published by our colleagues, and I will just give you a very brief summary of what has been published. So for example, in the grease research field, there is a focus of trying to improve the performance of greases. And one method is by adding some nanoparticles. So this has been, there are a lot of papers in this field. So this data gives us the coefficient of friction as a function of rolling speed for the normal grease, and grease mixed with various weight percentage of nanoparticles. And in this, the nanoparticle of reduced graphene oxide with 0.4% gives us the best result in terms of friction. So this is being carried out in IIT Delhi by some of my colleagues. Another research which is in focus is biotribology, and this is from my own work. So here we are focusing on trying to find out a new material, make a new material which could compete with UHMWP or ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. And this work is in collaboration with Kyushu University here. So in this work we have used ultra high molecular weight polyethylene in epoxy. So SU8 is an epoxy material. So adding UHMWP particle in epoxy gives us better result compared to the pure UHMWP. So actually pure UHMWP data is somewhere here, around 3, and it has come down by half in our experimental work. After this we have added hyaluronic acid as an additive in this as a filler. We all know that hyaluronic acid is a lubricant which is found in our joint lubricants. Synovial test, for example, here 0.05% of hyaluronic acid, it gives a very low specific wear rate, and also the friction coefficient is also very low. So this gives us an opportunity to perhaps replace UHMWP in the future by using this kind of method of making composites. Another area in biotribology where some colleagues are working on fretting where scar volume for 3 coatings on titanium metal when fretting against a 8 mm aluminum rod at 3 different normal loads. So in this work, it is about the fixation of the stems, and for the hip joint, the stem is fixed in the bones, and there is some fretting. And because of this fretting, the stem actually fails, the joint fails. So in order to avoid this fretting, we have to do something so that the bonding between the stem, which is made of titanium rods, and the bone is made better. So they found that for the coatings with titanium, the coating gave better result in terms of the fretting wear. So fretting wear reduced because of the presence of titanium at the interface. Another work which some of my colleagues are doing in the field of nanotribology, and at IIT Delhi, Dr. Goswami's group is working in this field, nanotribology, and they are trying to find out alternative material for ZADP. So as we know, ZADP is not a preferred additive for lubricants because of its sulfur and phosphorus content. So therefore, we are trying to replace ZADP with another additive, acrylamide, and they have done some experiments using AFM on studying the film formation of acrylamide on magnesium alloy. Magnesium alloy is also being focused because it is a lightweight material, and magnesium alloys are being used in engines and many light applications. So here you can see that under certain normal load, this additive gives us very low friction force. That is, the coefficient of friction is low. which is even better than ZDP. So this is a major focus in India as well as in outside India on finding a replacement for ZDP. Some other researchers are working on texturing. So texturing for bearings, journal bearings mainly, and in this work they have found that some inspiration from biological systems can be helpful. So here they are in this kind of texture, we are basically simulating the texture of fish. So fish scale has got some texture which basically is for low drag and low friction. So this kind of texturing has been done in this journal bearing so that we can reduce friction and we can increase the life of journal bearings. So now I will focus on industrial tribology activities which are being conducted in India right now. Getting information from industry was quite difficult because the number of publications from industry is quite low, and also it is very difficult to find out actually what projects they are working on, what are their critical projects. So first of all, let's look at the trends, industrial trends in India and how the industry is moving. So currently, if you look at the units of the vehicles sold in India, after COVID effect, the number of automotive sales has increased, again picked up. So, for example, passenger vehicles, commercial vehicles, three-wheelers and two-wheelers. So, the industrial progress is going on in India right now. And now looking at the lubricant market. So, how the lubricants are being consumed in India and also globally. Because the lubricants represent the industrial growth. Because the more industrial growth we have, the more lubricants we tend to use. So this is the global lubricants market, which is in the range of $140 billion US dollars. Looking at India, right in 2023, last year, it was 7.2 billion US dollars. So about 5% of the global lubricant market is in India. And if we just compare it in one country like US, the US has had 20 billion. So about 1/3 of the US is being consumed in India. So this is the size of the lubricant market in India compared to the globe. Leading lubricant consuming countries. So this is another indicator of the development that is taking place in a country. So here you can see that lubricant consuming countries, United States, China, more or less equal, and third position is in India. So again, lubricants are the major industrial growth in India right now. Looking at the manufacturing outputs, again, since COVID effect, the manufacturing has been growing in India, but recently it has slowed down a little bit, perhaps maybe because some other sectors are also gaining importance, like service sector and some other sectors. So if we compare percentage of the GDP, manufacturing percentage has gone down, which is which basically means that some other sectors are also gaining importance in India. Then other important aspect is the mining, because mining also represents a big industrial economic growth, and iron ore production has been growing by 7.4% growth since the last few years, and this is the 277 metric million tons is the iron ore production last year. And similarly, limestone, which is also important for iron industry and many other industry, it is also growing in the similar kind of rate. Aluminium production has increased by 2.1 from last year. So this also shows that the basic needs of the industrial growth, which are the metals have been, the business of metal has been growing. So presently India is the second largest aluminium producer and third largest limestone producer and fourth largest iron ore producer in the world. So this just shows that the overall economy has been growing, and this also tells us that tribology also is playing very important role in industrial growth, because all these activities require a lot of tribological things like bearings and the materials. I would like to give an example of two lubricant brands which have made a big name in India. One is called Servo by Indian Oil Corporation. So they started in 1972 and they have developed this brand, and right now if you go to India, you will see this Servo brand all over India. So all the lubricants are produced by Indian Oil Corporation, and the brand is called Servo. And as I found the information, it says 5,200 plus different formulations covering the whole range of industrial needs. So the Indian market is basically dominated by this company, and they also export lubricant oils to 35 countries. And in India, they have captured 27% of the market. So this is a huge success for this company with this brand. The next brand, which is also produced by an Indian company called Bharat Petroleum Corporation, it is called MAC. And they are similarly, they have also captured about 20% of the whole market, and they focus more on high performance at extreme temperatures, high or low. So these are the two kind of success in the lubrication area. I would like to also give examples of tribolometer manufacturers. So that is another indicator of how tribology is doing well, because if you don't have tribolometer, you cannot do tribology. So you might have seen this name Ducom. So Ducom is the biggest in India. We started in 1978. And many of us, when we were students, actually we started our tribology career using their equipment. And they manufacture tribometers and instruments for general tribology, lubrication tests, and petroleum tests. So they manufacture for the whole range of the needs of tribologists. And they have offices in the USA, the Netherlands, Malaysia, and India. So they have done a very good, successful job, and you will see in almost all continents they have sold their equipment. There is a new company that, so again, entrepreneurship is another field where tribologists can make a good mark. So this company has started It's a spin-off from IIT Delhi, started just this year, and they are basically focusing on biothermometer. So thermometers which are specifically made for biotechnology applications. So, major tribological research focus of Indian companies. First of all, they are working on improving the breezes with nanoparticles such as reduced graphite oxide, graphene oxide, and PTA particles. So, this is again our focus goes on sustainability, because at the end of the day, with all the industrial development, it might cause a lot of problem for the environment. So it is very important that we focus on sustainability and environment. So this is one effort towards sustainability by improving the performance of greens and oils by these kind of new additives. Fuel efficiency, extended drain intervals, and environmental stability are all part of it. There are some companies which are trying to add, for example, titanium oxide, nanoparticles, ionic liquids, MODTs, and nanographites, which are added into the lubricants. So they are added as fillers, basically to replace ZADP. The new additives for lubricants are especially for light alloys, like magnesium alloy. So this is also another focus for companies and also in university research. Tribological coatings. Now there are companies which can do coatings for different tribological applications. These are some of the important from one company, but you can also get, for example, BSc coating, all kinds of hard coatings. So the coating industry is also very much thriving in this field. Another major push in India is towards hydrogen energy. So this is like in many other countries. I think we are slightly late in hydrogen energy field. I do not see any tribological work being carried out in hydrogen field, but this is also one area where I think in the future many people will try to focus on hydrogen related tribology. I would like to mention about Tribology Society of India. It started its activity since 1972. And approximately currently we have 1,800 live members and 200 student members. Every 2 years we hold AsiaTrib, an international conference. For example, the last conference was held in 2022 in Delhi, and this is the audience. You can see the participants from that conference. We have relaunched the Indian Journal of Tribology with a new name called Tribology Science and Technology, Journal of Tribology Science and Technology. So this journal has been launched, and we are in the process of getting all the documentation, but we have already started publication. So in case you would like to publish a paper in this journal, please do contact me. So finally, concluding remarks, some of the positive sides. Academic tribology research has seen some growth since 2010, and a lot of new fields have been added. For example, nanotribology, biotribology, green tribology. These are all fields that our colleagues are working on. Many research areas have been touched now. However, huge potential for further depth in research is there. So I believe that we need to have further depth, although we have covered many areas, but it is important that we also go into the depth of the research and the quality of the publications. Two public sector companies have performed at world-class level, making lubricant formulation for domestic markets and also for export. On the minus side, although these are minus, but they also give us the potential for future growth. So one of the challenges at least in the academic field is to retain bright students for PhD and academic positions in India, because as you know, India is competing in this field with all over the world. So we have to compete for good students in academic research as well as for academic positions and for the industry. Collaborations between academia and industry is lacking. So right now, all the collaborations are very few, very light. There is no depth in the collaboration. So I think this is something that we have to work upon in the future. Many new tribology research and development is needed for future growth of the country. So, for example, biotribology, new additives, tribological coatings, instrumentation. So these are all big areas, a lot of potential is there. So I hope in the future our younger researchers will like to take up these fields and make some progress and make some name for themselves and for the country. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much for Professor Shen. Next, the is from